couple weeks ago. So now I'm titling them. That way I can point people to the right place. So sums of random variables. What are we talking about? Well, sometimes it's easier to deal with a random variable by taking it and dividing it into little chunks. This is the way math is, isn't it? We take something hard and we say, it's too hard to think of the entire deck of cards. So we'll just look at one card and that's it. Or take a problem and divide it into little pieces and put them all together. We've done this before in here. Think of talking about the deck of cards. Some of you much prefer, instead of thinking of like dealing cards in groups of 5, you think of it as one at a time. You say, okay, what's the probability that this happens? Then multiply it by the probability that this happens. You know who you are, and it's perfectly fine. You can do it that way instead of working out the combinations. That's completely fine because it's a nice shortcut, makes it easier for you, which is good. So the same thing is true for certain random variables. If you divide them into little pieces and then add them up, that's what we're going to do here. We'll do covariance actually next Monday. We won't do it today. So here's the main property that we're going to be using. It's that top one there, that the expected value of the sum of 2 random variables is just the sum of their expected values. So we're going to be dealing with averages. You'll see, I've got a bunch of problems, and so you'll see what types of problems that we're going to be able to solve with this. But you can see here that if you can do this with 2 random variables, then you certainly can do it with an infinite number of them, but we will never have an infinite number. We might have 10, we might have 50. In fact, one of the first examples is this deck of cards where we will have 52 random variables. I know it sounds nightmarish, but it is not. It's not as bad as it sounds. Don't worry. Okay, so if you want the expected value of a sum of a whole bunch of random variables, just add up all the expected values. That's easy enough. And then, of course, we can multiply by constants. And all of this is possible because the expected value itself is a sum. And when you're doing a sum, you can separate sums using the associative rule and the distributive rule. You can separate the little pieces of the sums and put them back together however you want. And so that's what all this is. So really, it's that top one that we're going to be focusing on for the most part. Although the extension, so as long as you can understand that when we have more than 2 random variables, you just tack them all on. So if it's x plus y plus z, you just do the expected value of x plus the expected value of y plus the expected value of z. So you might be wondering, what kind of problems are we going to be dealing with? Well, here's the first one. Suppose I have cards printed out with the numbers 1 through 24. I should have brought such cards with me, but I do have some cards here. So you could imagine if these cards were printed instead of with what I've got them printed with, if I just had numbers 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 24. And suppose I took them and I passed them out in my next class. Oh no, not my next class, my morning class. So 24, numbers 1 through 24, and I passed them out at random to 24 people in my statistics class. Now, one of the things you should know about these 24 people in my statistics class is that none of them are above the age of 24. So they're all 24 or younger. That's kind of important for this calculation. Now, take a look at this question that I've got here, and try to think of how you're going to do it without using a sum, because it's kind of a pain. What is the expected number of people who have a card matching their age? Well, to do that, you'd have to, first of all, know people's ages, right? We'd have to know everyone's age. We'd have to say, okay, what's the probability that you get this card? You're a 20-year-old, you get the 20 card, and you're 19, so you get the 19 card. Like, what's the probability that all of these things happen? But we can ignore all that if we just think of people individually and add up a bunch of random variables. So here's the random variables that I'm going to add up. Let me set this up, and this is going to, I need an efficient way. I got to figure out an efficient way to take the entire PowerPoint and dump it into Notability. I'm sure that that's possible, but for now, I'm just going to do it this way. Do it the way I've been doing it. I'll figure it out for next semester. Okay, so there it is. So so I'll do this one for you, and then the next one, you're going to set it up, and then and I'll help you with it. And then the last one, you'll do the whole thing. And then we'll take a look at the homework if we have time. So I've got these cards. I'm passing them out to 24 people, and you have to understand that these are all young people. None of them are 30 years old, okay? No non-traditional students. So they're all under the age of 25, so 24 or younger. In other words, each of those 24 people, they have a card. There is a card. Where do my cards go? There is a card in the stack that matches their age. So let's think about them as individuals. I'm going to number them 1 through 24, and then I will name some random variables, x sub I. So bear in mind, we've numbered the people 1 through 24, and x sub I is going to equal this. We're going to set it up so that it equals 1 if person I has card I, and it's 0 otherwise. So I pass out my cards, and I ask person 3, oh, I'm sorry, I wrote this wrong. If person I has, I wrote this wrong, sorry. I was thinking ahead to the next problem will look like that. So let me go back. It's going to be x sub I is 1 if person I has his or her age. The card that matches his or her age. Okay, so I pass these around. Here's person 1, here's person 2, here's person 3, and so on. So I go and I say, okay, person 1, x sub 1 is whether or not that person has their age. So I say, hey, does that card match your age? And she says, haha, no, my card is 7, and I'm not 7 years old. So that was a no, so x sub 1 would be 0 in that case. But it could be that she has her age. And then I go to person 2, and I say, do you have your age? And if it's yes, hey, I do, I'm 19, and I have card number 19. Then person 2 would have 1 for their random variable. But it's a random variable because it could either be 1 or 0. Well, now that I've got that sorted out, let's think of just each individual. So for x sub I, and if it bothers you that I've got an I there, think of just person 1. So person 1 over here, because they're all the same. It's all going to be the same in terms of the random variable. So here's the random variable x sub I. I have outcome, and I have probability. So let's work this out. So the outcome of 0 or 1. So what is the probability that person 1 gets their age? Yeah, 1 out of 24, right? Because their age, whatever age they are, they're 19 or they're 22 or whatever it is, there is exactly one of these cards that has that number on it out of 24. So it's a 1 out of 24. If we ignore everyone else, which we can, at least for the moment, we'll bring them back in a minute. There's a 1 out of 24 chance that that person has their age. And then, of course, the probability that they don't have their age is the rest of the time, 23 out of 24. Now we can talk about the expected value of x sub I. So let's talk about that expected value of that person. In fact, you could do the calculation. It's super easy, right? Because of the 0, that's one of the neat things about this technique that we're learning about, is you've got all these zeros, and whenever you multiply 0 by anything, this really is irrelevant, isn't it? All that matters is this. It's just going to be 1 out of 24. So the expected value of person 1, when they say that, they might say 0, they might say 1. More likely to say 0 than 1. If I say, did you get your age? They're going, no, I didn't, 0. So, but on average, if I did this over and over again and kept shuffling and then on average, the number that I got from person 1 would be 1/24th on average. And you're hopefully not too troubled by the fact that they're never going to say anything other than 0, 1, but we're going to do this over time and average it together. So the average for person 1 is 1/24th. Now let's go back to that theorem. That theorem says that the expected value of the sum of a bunch of random variables is equal to the sum of the expected values of the random variables. So if each of these is the same in person 3 has the same expected value because the probabilities are the same. Person 4 and person 5, they all have the same probabilities. And you might say, well, wait a minute. What if they're all 19 years old? Well, they might be, but they still each have a 1 in 24 chance of getting that card 19. And so there you go. But anyway, now that we've got that sorted out, we can just add them up. So each of them is 1/24. There are 24 of them. And so on average, weird. A little notification that's strange. Anyway, on average, the expected value, that is the number. So, oh, by the way, I should say this is the number of people who got their age. There it is. Yeah, because basically I just like, who got your age? And people would be like raising their hand, and each of the people who got their age would be a 1 in terms of the X that they represent, and everyone else is a 0. So if you add up together all those ones, you get the number of people who got their age. So now I'm going to do the expected value of that, which is just the sum of these expected values, and there's 24 of them. Each one of them has this expected value, and so 24 times 1/24 ends up being just 1. So this is so interesting to me that if I did this experiment, if I had 24 cards numbered 1 through 24, it doesn't matter what age everyone is. Everyone could be 19, everyone could be different ages. We could have people from, age 1 up to 24 even, and the same expected value no matter what people's ages are. It's always going to be just one person on average. On average, one person will get their age. Let's see if you can apply this same idea. So it's a similar idea. So notice we're dividing and conquering. You have this really hard thing thinking about having all of these people. We have to worry about all 24 of the people. And instead of thinking about all 24 of them, we change it up into thinking about each one individually. Did they say yes or no? And then we'll just add them up. Okay, let's do the same thing with another problem. So see, we'll get, where is it? Here we are. Let's try this one. Okay, I need to explain this briefly though, because especially if you don't know what that notation in the middle line means. So we have an ordinary deck of cards. Here they are. And we're going to shuffle the deck of cards. So there it is. Pretend it's shuffled. And then, oh, did I just, I think I copied, I think I accidentally, let me see. I think I already did a screenshot, but I didn't crop it. Let me see. No, that's the old one. Let me delete that. Let me go back. Sorry, I should focus on what I'm doing. So you have the deck of 52 cards. Wait a minute, I think I did do a screenshot. Sorry. Here, let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. It's there. I just didn't crop it. There it is. Okay. That'll be a lot easier if I just use this. So 52 cards. And so what I'll do is I'll shuffle these, and you'll just have to pretend that I've shuffled them. It doesn't really matter if they're shuffled or not. And I'm going to count them off. Ready? So this one is 1. And if it is an ace, then that's a match. But it's not. And then I got 2. And if this was a 2, then I'd have a match. But it's not. Then 3. Oh, it's a match. I didn't even load this up. So that's a match. So I've got 1 match so far. Then 4. No. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and 11 is going to be Jack. All right, so just so that we know, that's not a Jack. 11 is Jack. 12, it should be Queen, so that doesn't match. And then the whole mod 13 thing, all that means, if you're not familiar with it or if it's been too long, it just means that when we get to 13, we go back to 0. So 13 is no longer third. We just say, okay, we've counted up to 12. When we get to 13, it's no longer 13, it's 0. So this will be 0, and 0 corresponds with king. So is that, no, it's not a king. So anyway, I keep going, and I keep track of how many cards match. So what are we at? 0, then I go again. 1, 2, 3, you'll have to trust me, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, it matched. Jack, Queen, King. Okay, ace, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 matched. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. Nope. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. 4 matched. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 matched. Jack, queen, king. Okay, so I had 5. I had 5 match in that time. On average, you might take a guess. How many do you think on average you should expect to match? I had 5, which is actually, I don't know, I shouldn't give it away. Is that good or bad? Seems like it's pretty unusual, doesn't it? So what would be the expected number is the question. So let's set it up. So see if you can figure out how we're going to set this up, first of all. And what I'm going to do is instead of, so here's how this is going to look. So you're going to have to come up with what does x sub I mean? And what I'm going to be interested in is the sum of all of the x sub i's. So the expected value of that sum. But first of all, we need to define what do we mean by the x sub I? What is it that we're doing? And how can you define that? Take a minute, see if you can do that, and then we'll see if we can work it out together. I'll shuffle it. One more. Good enough. All right, so let's see if we've got a good x sub I. Oh, I still haven't done attendance, have I? That's all right. I'll deal with it in a bit. Where did my attendance thing go? There it is, MVNU Connect. All right. Here we are. This is probability, manage attendance, and this way I can pick a rando. It's always more fun. Chelsea. Oh, did I even? Oh, I did start. All right, let's randomize. The best part. Cooper Claggett. Cooper, what do you think the x sub I is going to be representing? You don't have to give me numbers or anything, just describe. Like in the first one, each x sub I was each person. So what is it here? Matches. The card. So it's like, what is the I though? It's the ith card. Is that what you're talking about? I really don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, but you're so like x sub 3 is the third card. Is that what you mean? Matching the third card? Yeah, Nolan thinks that's what it is. Like if we throw that like 1, 2, yeah, okay, 3, so here 1, 2, 3. That would be 3. This will be x sub 3. It doesn't match. Okay. But it would be a 0, right? So we'll do that. So let's just to illustrate. So we'll use Cooper Nolan's method of so that like the 10th. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So x sub 10 is whether this is a 10. So x sub I is whether or not the ith card in the stack is a match. So is this a 10? If it is, it will be, I'll put 1 down. If it isn't, I'll put 0 down. And it turns out it's not, so it's a 0. As you might have guessed, it's probably pretty unusual. So I'll write this like this, that this will be 1 if card I matches, and 0 if card I doesn't match. And of course, now we can sort of put this in if you want to write down indices, which are not entirely necessary, because we all understand there are 52 of these, but we're adding up 52 of these. So now you can talk about the expected value. Well, I suppose we need probabilities first, don't we? So let us figure out the probabilities for this. So this is outcome, probability, it should be a outcome. So 0, 1. So what is the probability if we, so here, there's 10 cards. Let's do the 20th card. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whoops, here's the 20th card. So what's the probability that this card is a 7? Isn't that what it should be? Is that right? The 20th card, if it cycles around, we get rid of 13 and Yeah, so what's the probability that this is a 7? 4 out of 52, is that right? Yeah, it's a nice simple. So it's like we've taken this thing that would be a nightmare. If I had just given this to you as a problem to solve, you probably could do it, but it would take forever because you'd have to think through what's the probability of having 5 cards match, 4 cards match, 3 cards match. I don't even want to think about all the different combinations. But this, it's one card. There's a 4 out of 52 chance that there's a 7 here, which it's not. 4 out of 52, that's a 1 in 13. That's pretty slim odds. So probability is 1 out of 13, 4 out of 52, same thing. We don't even care. I mean, that's the thing about this. When you do it this way, you don't even care what this number is because you're going to be multiplying it by 0 anyway. But let's go ahead and do this anyway. We've written it down. So what is the expected value for each of these individual? So now we've done 20. We could do the 30th. So 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. So this one, this is the 30th card. Is it, let's see, what is 13, 6, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Is it a 4? So that's what, it should match a 4. So, well, what's the expected? How many times, like what should we expect when we multiply all that up? Yeah, it's just 1/3. It's so easy, right? Because it's 0 times 12/13 plus 1 times 1/13, and you almost don't even have to write anything down. I'll just write this down, but it's well, here, I'll do this to make sure that, yeah, 1 times 1/13 plus 0 times 12/13, and so it's just 1/13. Now let's add up 52 of those. I know, it's so easy, isn't it? If only this could be this easy when we were doing our like multiple variable. This is more than multiple. This is like 52 variables. Well, anyway, so 52 times 1/13 is 4. So when I got 5, I knew that this was the answer. I was a little surprised, like, wow, there's 5. That's a little bit more than average. So on average, you should expect 4 of them to match. This one didn't match. But probably, in all likelihood, out of these, maybe 2 or 3 of them probably matched, the ones that I dumped down onto the table. Probably 2 or 3 of them, maybe even 4. But when I do the whole deck, I should expect about 4, a little bit more, a little bit less. That's how averages work. Okay, very nice. Okay, so that one we did sort of together. Let's see, what's the next one? Is the next one hard? I hope it's not too bad. Can't remember. Okay, we've already done that one. How about this one? Wait a minute, we already did that one. Wait, divided into 4. Oh, no, this one's slightly different. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay, so just to explain what this one is we're gonna, so for this one, it's slightly different. You're going to find that the answer is sort of similar. You're going to be doing very similar calculations, but here's how this one works. I have 4 piles. So like this, there. And so I'm going to make 4 piles of 13. I'm getting tired of this, so I'm going to just fake it. There. So I have these piles of 13, and I want to know what is the probability, or no, not the probability, the expected number of cards that are in the correct location in these 4 piles. So you have 4 piles, and I have, so there's the bottom one, I don't know where, well, we could start counting at the top. So the top one, is the top one an ace? And the second one, is it a 2? Is this one a 3? Is this one a 4? And so on. So see if you can work out that expected value while I go ahead and copy junk from one place to another. And this one, it's not too hard, hopefully, given that we just did the previous one that's really similar. It'll be annoying for just a sec. There. So you can work with a friend if you want to. You can get a cookie if you want to. Or you can get one on the way out if you want to. Chock full of gluten, though. Lots of dairy as well. There's email. Hmm, weird. All right, let's see how we're doing. Not ready? Well, too bad. We're going to do it. Um, okay, so we're going to divide this. Instead of thinking all of those piles, too much stuff. So what is the x sub I that we want to break this into? Like, what is the individual things? I guess I could pick a rando because you all have your own ideas. There's more than one way to do this. Hannah, how would you like to do this? So each of these cards is like a, so we would have to figure out systematically how we're going to number these, but like we could have pile one, we could go through pile one first, and does that match all the way down to the bottom? Then we could do pile two, or you could do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But as long as we're systematic about it, yeah, we're going to pick each individual card. So there's 52 random variables, just like the last one. So x sub I is going to be card I matches, question mark. And you'll have to decide how you're going to do the numbering, but I'll tell you right now, it doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer either way. So just, either you're going for like the first time I thought of this, I was actually thinking of doing it one card at a time, and then you kind of drill your way down. So you check for aces, and then you check for twos, and then threes, and so on. But however you do it, as long as you're systematic and you have a method, that's fine. Okay, so does card I match? All right, now we have to figure out the probabilities. So what is the probability? So so we have x sub I. It's either going to match or not match. So we'll set up our probability distribution. So let's see if we've got this. So Evan, what do you think? What's the probability that card I either matches or doesn't? I don't care which one. 4 out of 52. Okay, so you're saying 4 out of 52. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense because we're at let's do the aces first. For this one, the probability that this is an ace, well, there's 4 aces out of 52. And then if we move to this one, the probability this is an ace is 4 out of 52. There's 4 aces. And I know once I start revealing cards, probabilities will change, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm just asking about the one card. So I could go down to the fourth card, 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice I'm not even looking at those cards. I just want to know what's the probability that this is a 4. So that's what each of the individual random variables are. We'll put them together, but we don't have to deal with them all at once. We can separate them out and then add up the expected values. Okay, very nice. So the remainder of the time, whatever that is, 48 out of 52 is going to be up here. All right, now we need the expected value. Nolan, you know the expected value of this random variable, don't you? 452. Yeah, 452. Well, that's just this one, one. And then now we'll go ahead and add them up because I know that's what you really want to do. But let's let Sarah do it. What's the expected value of the sum of these random variables? It is just 4. So there's 52 of them, and each of them has a 4/52 expected value. And so that's just going to be 4. Beautiful. So it's exactly the same. Turns out is that if you think about it, this is just another way of doing what we, the other experiment, of counting off. You're basically just counting off 13 cards, and then you go to the next stack, 13 cards here, and so on until you have all of the cards on the table. All right, I think there's one more example, and then yes. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I've got one more example, but we have to have an little intermission, and of course, surveys are open now. And the administration, so they want me to try to get everyone to do them. So I'll give you extra credit. It'll be the same as what I did last semester if you had me as, I don't know, quiz grade or whatever. But I'll have it built in. It'll be on in Moodle. So if you do the end of course survey, I'll be able to see who's done it. I won't be able to see your scores. And even after finals, I won't know who said what. So you can say whatever you'd like. But the administration likes the numbers. I like the words. So you want to write something great. You could say, yeah, I really like those cookies or whatever. I don't care. It's always fun to see what people write. And you won't know. And if you're confused about how to, sometimes these are hard to figure out, I've got the answers for you. So just remember 5. We all like 5-star reviews, don't we? So you can fill it out, and that's where you should go. Okay, so let's do this next one. Speaking of 5s, we have 5s here. So what I'm going to do is I've got a calculator, and I'm going to generate random numbers between 0 and 1, and I need 5 random numbers between 0 and 2/5. So on average, how many random numbers would we have to generate before we had our 5 numbers? All right, well, this one's a little bit harder. Well, actually, it is both harder and easier than the other ones. So what's harder about it is if we think of it in the same terms as the ones that we just did, which is totally fine. And in fact, I would encourage that because we'll do it the hard way and then I'll show you the easy way, which is slightly different. Okay, so we're going to need to do the same thing, divide this thing up into individual random variables that we can add together. So I'll give you a minute. You can think through, figure out how you might divide this up. Let's see. Copy and delete. Just give me a sec. I'm going to put this over here where I can write. That's much better. So I don't know, do our calculators, do they do random numbers? They probably do. I'm going to look for it while you think about this. Yeah, that's where I'm looking. Oh yeah, under prob, of course. Oh yeah, it's right there, rand. What does rand do? Oh, it gives me a random number. Okay, and it's okay, this is exactly what I was looking for. So it gives you a random number between 0 and 1. Huh, there it is. I'll even show you if you're curious what my random numbers are. There they are. Is that up there? Yeah, it is. There, so yeah, rand. So yeah, so the question is, if I do this, how many times should I expect to have to do this before I have, how many, 5? Is that what it said? Yeah, before I have 5 numbers that are between 0 and 2/5. So currently I have 1 number between 0 and 2/5. 2/5, by the way, is 0.4. So I'll keep going. So I've got 1. So let's see. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Try again. Two, 3, got 2 in a row. 4. Almost done. Come on. 5. Okay, I got 5. How many did I have to do? Just a sec. 1. Oh, I can't scroll? I didn't keep track of how many. Well, you got the picture. We're doing this. So let's see. What are the individual random variables? What are the x sub i's that we're interested in here? So, Briar, what would you like to name the x sub i's? Okay, so like, for example, x sub I is going to equal, so here's how we're always going to sort of set it up. It's 0 if the ith number is greater than 0.4, that's 2/5, and it's 1 if the ith number is less than 0.4. Yeah, so there's that cutoff. Yeah, so I guess it's just like the other ones. Do you have success? 0 for failure, 1 for success. So now I don't know how many I've got here, but I've got... Okay, well, when you have a random number, you're not going to... Here, I'll do it this way. Yeah, none of these random numbers will be exactly 0.2. So just because the probability of being exactly 0.2 is 0. So, or 0.4, sorry, 0.4 is 0. Oh, the reason is you're dealing with, here's the why, here's why. Here, just if you really want to know, here's the, from 0 to 1, you have a uniform distribution. We're assuming uniform, right? Uniform distribution. So let's talk about this, 0.4. If I wanted to know the probability, which I'm going to need to know in a minute, of being in this range, that probability, the probability that I'm here, is going to be 0.4 over 1.0. So the uniform random variable, you just take how big of a range you have divided by the whole sample space. Whereas if I ask what is the probability of being exactly 0.4, then you're dealing with like a really small range. The range is, might as well be, it is 0. It's the limit. If you can think of having a little range that, you know, goes centered at 0.4, and you shrink that range down, the limit as that range gets shrinks down is going to be 0. So, yeah, any individual number in a continuous random variable is 0 probability. But to make everyone feel better, I can put a less than or equal to there. Yeah, the same thing is true for the normal curve. Normal curve, you're never going to be exactly a particular number. It's always ranges for the normal curve. Okay, so we've got this. Now I need to know the probabilities, which I guess I kind of gave away there. But what is the probability? So we have x is 0 or 1. What's the probability that x equals 0? What's the probability that x equals 1? See if you can fill that out. I kind of gave it away up there. But Reagan, what would be the probability of getting 0? That is, that's not greater than, or not less than 0.4. 0.6. Yes, very good, 0.6. And the reason is, of course, that you would be in this range right here, and there's a 0.6 over 1 chance of being in that range. And then, of course, the probability of being a 1 is 0.4. Now, here's the hard part. The hard part about this one is that we want to know on average how many of these numbers do I have to do. So I don't know what the answer, like I don't know how many is the, we're going to do this. Somewhere I goes from 1 to n. I don't know the n. Up here I knew the n. The n was 52. I was adding up 52 of these. Up here it was 52 as well. Up here it was 24. This one, I was adding up 24 of these things. Here, I don't know. I don't know how many it is. But what I could do is I could say, well, let's just leave it blank. Leave it as n. So I'm going to add up n of these things. And what that's going to give me is n times this expected value. Ooh, we never did the expected value. I think you probably are figuring out that the expected value is always 1 times the probability of 1. Okay, so this is like this. So there's the expected value if I did n of those. So now what I could do is I could say, well, wait a minute. I want this to equal 5. I can solve, can't I? You can solve. So let's go ahead and solve. N is 5 over 0.4. And 5 over 0.4 is, what is it? 5 over 2/5. That's 25 halves. 25 halves. So expected number, the expected number of times I'm going to have to do this is 25 halves, 12 and a half times. Now, in reality, I guess realistically, I could say that I should expect to have to do this 13 times. But technically, 25 halves, 12 and a half is the right answer. Now, there is an easier way to do this, so I should tell you about it because there's one on the homework that is similar to this. So instead of thinking of this as a bunch of individual random variables, let's just go back to this and here, I don't want to have to copy, just paste. Allow. There we go. So let's just go back to the original problem, start fresh. You don't have this sum of individual random variables. Let's just think about this the way you might have thought of it about a month ago. Now I know it's hard to remember. What do you think? It is a negative binomial. We have a name for these things. This is a negative binomial random variable. Negative binomial, let me remind you what these are. So geometric, just to remind you, so I'll just do geometric and negative binomial. Geometric is how many attempts before one success. So just a quick reminder, I know you probably remember, but just in case. And then negative binomial, what that was how many attempts before R successes, where R successes, there we go, where R was whatever number of successes we're looking for. And the example I gave you is the claw game and having to get 3 prizes for my 3 daughters. You know, if I get 1, I'm going to have to get 3. So how long will it be until I get 3 successes? So here, R is 5. So 5 is R. And the probability of any individual success, so here R is 5. P for the probability of success is 2/5. And so using the negative binomial formula for the expected value of a negative binomial random variable is R over P. By the way, the expected value for geometric, just to remind you, is 1 over P. So how many times am I going to have to do this? Well, I just take 5 and divide it by 2/5 and I'm done. It's a lot easier than doing all of this up here. Although you could do this either way. But sometimes we forget that there's, oh, we did this, a month ago. It's not as bad. Okay, so next chore. We have one more thing to deal with. And that is, here it is. I wanted to make sure that we got started on this homework because the homework is, even though you'd think, oh, it's so simple, isn't it? This didn't seem so tough. Here it is. I wanted to at least get us started on these. So now I just want to make sure that you see this, these are the problems that are in the regular section, and then these are the self-test problems. There are no theoretical problems. I'm not going to make you do theoretical problems. So there's the homework. And let me just grab this. I was looking at it about an hour ago, actually. But here it is, just a sec. 7, sorry. Come on. Still in chapter 7. Okay. Come on. This is annoying. Just a sec. Let me go back to 5th so that you don't have to get scrolling across the screen. I guess I could always look at the bookmarks. You would think it would be close. Here, I'll look at the bookmarks. There it is. Okay, I found it. Okay, we can look back. Okay, so 6, 12, 14. Let's take a peek at these. I just want to make sure that we have a chance to, if there's anything unusual, I know it causes problems, so we want to make sure that you can do these. So 6, 12, 14. Here is 6 here, and these are exactly the same as depending on what version of the book you have. So it doesn't matter if you have the US or global, they're exactly the same. Okay, fair dice rolled 10 times, calculate the expected sum of the 10 rolls. So in this case, this is slightly different from what we've been doing with the cards and so forth. So I just want to make sure you're okay with this. So I'm rolling the die 10 times, the expected sum of the 10 rolls. So what you could do is you could think of it this way, that you have each roll is its own random variable. so that you have x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3, and so on. And each x, so x sub I, is the value of the ith roll. Now, the reason I mention this is that this is different from up here. We've been using zeros and ones all along, but on this first one, so you know how it is. If you can't get the first homework, you feel like a failure because the first one should be the easiest, right? But anyway, so here, this is a little different. It's the value. So to find the expected value of each of these, you're going to have to actually have more than, no, there's no zero. On a fair die, it's 1 through 6. So yeah, so up here, we just had zeros and ones. But down here, we're going to have 1 through 6 with this particular problem. So x sub I could be any number from 1 to 6. You can figure out the probabilities. It's just 1/6 for each. And then to figure out the expected value, it's going to be a little bit more work, but it's not too much more work. It's pretty, in fact, some of you are like, oh yeah, I know the answer already. Fine. You can help your friends. So anyway, that's that one for number 6. So 6, 12, and what was the third one? 18? So here, we'll go, I'll switch back just to make sure I get them. Yeah, 6, 12, 14. 6, 12, 14. Okay, so 6, not a problem. Shouldn't be too difficult. I think 12 is similar to what we've been doing with all the zeros and ones. Yes. So you have a group of in men and in women. The only annoying thing about this one is we aren't told how many men and how many women. So if it bothers you, pick a number like 13 and say that there's 13 men and 13 women. But if you can do it with 13, you can do it with n. But whatever, we've got this. I have them lined up at random. I want to know the expected number of men who have a woman next to them. So you can think of this stretch. So let's just imagine 13 and 13. That would mean that there are 26 people standing at the front of the room with men and women mixed up. And there might be a man here with a man on either side. That person would get a 0 in my book because he doesn't have a woman next to him. Over here, perhaps there's a guy with a man over here and a woman over here. That person gets a 1. Over here, there's a guy with 2 women. He also gets a 1. So the 1 would represent having at least 1 woman next to you, and a 0 is that you don't have a woman. Now, everyone here is similar except for the 2 people at the ends. If I'm standing at the very end of the line, I only have 1 chance to have a woman next to me if I'm a guy. I don't have the person to my right because there's no one to my right. There's only someone here. So that person and the person at the other end, they're special. You'll have to deal with them separately when you think of this. So unlike the cards and unlike the dice, not everyone is the same, but most everyone is the same. It's only the 2 people at the end that are different and special. Other than that, everyone is the same. So hopefully that gets you started to getting to doing this. And then the round table thing, that's actually no one is special because if you make people stand in a circle, then everyone has a chance of having a man and a woman at their both sides. So that's number 12. Number 14. Here we go. Yeah, you can ignore it looks really long, but it's just because there's this note about how, applications to health science. But you have an urn with M black balls, and at each stage you remove a black ball from the urn. So I'm actually looking, I'm not randomly choosing. So I randomly choose a ball that's, no I don't, not random. I pick out a black ball, set it aside, and I replace it with, I replace it with either a black or a white ball with probability P for black and 1 minus P for white. So I figure out which one I'm going to put in, I put it in there. And I keep doing this until there are no more black balls in the urn. And I want to know what's the expected number of times I have to do this before I get rid of all the black balls. So then you can read the historic note if you want to. So that one is the hardest, I think, of everything that I have assigned. Do your best to figure this out. There is a trick that you can do this relatively quickly. It is sort of similar to what we did with the negative binomial random variable. Okay, so that's those three. Let's just take a peek. Oh yeah, we got 5 minutes. Take a really quick peek at the self-test problems, and then I have something to mention that I discovered about the self-test problems. So first of all, let me go find them. That's not them. Oh no, central limit theorem. Here we are. Here's the self-test problems. And some of you may have known this about these, and I didn't until just today, is that the solutions, actual written out solutions to all of these are in the very back of the book. So if you go to the very back, you'll find the solutions to all of the self-test problems, which, okay, well, I just thought that it was nice that, I mean, I like these, so we're going to do them. So you can look them up if you need to. Okay, so this one is similar in some regards to the problem from the other section, except that we have a specified number of married couples, and they're seated at various tables. And so you want to know the probability that an individual couple is seated together. The expected number of married couples that get seated together. You can read that over. So you can probably guess what the random variable is that you pick a person. Let's pick a woman. It doesn't matter, but you should focus on one gender. Otherwise, it's too confusing. So pick like the women and say, so you've got the women. There are 10 married couples. So there's 10 women, x1 through x10. And you say that x1 is 1 if this woman has her husband at the table, and it's 0 if the husband is not at the table. So if you just focus on one woman at a time and then add up the 10 women, that will do it for you. And then this one is slightly different, but the solution is the same, not the same number, the same solution technique. It's for part B. And then for number 4, if the die is rolled until all sides have appeared at least once, find the expected number of times that the outcome 1 appears. So there you're rolling a die, and of course you can guess it's x, let's see, until all sides have appeared at least once. Wait, I just did this one. Is x would have to be the outcome of the die. So yeah, we don't know that it's either 0 or 1. A 1 appears, then it's a 1. A 0, then it's a 0. So and you keep going until the problem is how many times do you do this? So that'll be a problem. But you can look it up in the back. Both of these, 3 and 4, they're in the back. You can find them. And they should be the same for both global and the American version. All right, so that's it. I will try to figure out what's going on tomorrow. I will let at least for those of you who are in Senior Capstone, I'll let you know. So I'll figure it out after I get done with my last class. Can't do it before then. Feel free to take a cookie if you want to, but if you don't, we'll just force the freshmen to eat them all. Yeah, so there's rectangles if you don't want a crown or a hand. Oh, and there's, yeah, paper towels. Yeah, yes, it's really unfortunate. Yes, sir.
I will not be in class tomorrow.
Blood clots and a mass. The gall of this lady that she would do this to you.
I know. And
it's terrible.
They don't know the severity of the mass yet.
So you're gonna head home.
Yeah.
Understandable.
They do the screening once they're report.
Okay.
So my only chance is to see her.
Well, you know, I'll just stick that into my subconscious as a possible reason to make everyone happy. But so thanks for letting me know.
Yep.
So.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Not gluten free, not gluten free.
I can deal with some of it.
Oh, you can deal with gluten. Okay, good, good. All right. Ease away. Why is my foot hurt so much? Hello, welcome. You're dropping off. Oh, the planners.
Yeah.
That's right. How exciting.
Do you have 22 or 24 students?
I think I have 20. I think I had 23, but I think one of them disappeared on me. Let me check.
Okay, I think 20. I know we're dropping off for 2 separate classes in this building, and one of them had 24 students and one had 22.
Not mine. I think I have
you missed
22.
one, yeah.
So I think I lost one. It used to be 24 or 23 here. I'll double check right now.
6.
More tools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 22. I have 22. Apparently.
Are you the one handing out cookies to your students?
I am handing out cookies.
We just passed a for the student
Oh,
meeting, and all of them were eating cookies.
Excellent. All right. Well, I will let them know that these are a gift from the CSS and that they should go and use your services.
Yes, and use their planners.
Yeah.
If there are any left over, you can have them if you want, or you can bring them back to the CSS,
Okay.
or we can get them from you.
All right. I will do my
Thank
best.
you.
Yep, you're welcome. My foot is killing me. My foot is killing me. It's killing me. Who is this? Hey, welcome. Danny, do you have something that you're doing this coming weekend? Like, are there people, places to go?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend, so I go to her house.
Ah, excellent. That was a wise move to find a girlfriend. Otherwise, you'd have to find an international flight. Well, no, you wouldn't, because there's activities on campus, I believe, for international students this year at least. So. Good. Well, that's good. Convenient. Okay. Hi, Kyle. Who else claimed not come? Ooh. Hello, Anna.
Did they tell the professors about how the Wonka QR thingy wasn't working?
Someone was worried about it
Yeah.
and emailed me, but no, they did not.
Yeah, it was like.
I took pictures just in case.
Yeah, I took pictures of it not working because I was like.
So,
no one would say anything,
so are you saying that the Wonka QR code was wonky?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It worked for people scanning in but not scanning out because they made it too short. It timed out before the
Movie was finished. Yeah.
What a ripoff.
I was there.
I believe you.
Yes, I was so mad when it, and then apparently at the very end, after like more than half the people left, they started taking down some names.
Oh.
But like literally there was like 10 people left. Or like I left. I was standing there for like 10 minutes after removing it. I was just like, well,
I took a picture to prove that I was there.
I believe you.
You know,
Bodie, glad to see you.
How's it going, Professor?
It's going okay.
Professor, I know you got your new car, but in the past, have you owned any like cool cars? Like any like sports cars or anything?
My first car was a 1974 Plymouth Duster,
Okay, never mind.
which was not the cool version though. It had a slant six, 225, so it wasn't a V8.
I was gonna ask.
Still, Slant 6 got good work.
Yeah, it was okay. My second car was a 1979 Datsun 280ZX.
Dude, that's awesome.
So yeah, so
I
that's
want
cool.
one of those so bad.
Yeah, and then after that, I've had boring cars,
That's understandable.
but the Z was my favorite. 'Cause that had a straight six in it as well, but it was smaller, so it had some good pickup.
Was that the one with the like green digital dash?
No, it was not digital. It was all analog.
No.
No, this is 79. So it's the 280ZX. Yeah, I have a picture of it in my office, but let's see what's going on. Seems to happen. Oh, that's not what we're doing. That's not it. Jonah. Alright. These two. These guys. These four. These three. Kai's here. Michael. Hudson. Micah. Alright. Oh, that's time. Let's do it. All right. Let's get it going. So, yeah. So it's Thanksgiving week, so I thought it would be appropriate to read to you Psalm 118. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. You've probably heard that sung in various settings. But this is the whole psalm, so bear with me for a minute. So give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Let Israel say, his love endures forever. Let the house of Aaron say, his love endures forever. For let those who fear the Lord say, his love endures forever. When hard pressed, I cried to the Lord, and he brought me into a spacious place. The Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? The Lord is with me. He is my helper. I look in triumph on my enemies. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in humans. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes. All the nations surround me, but in the name of the Lord I cut them down. They surround me on every side, but in the name of the Lord I cut them down. They swarmed me around like bees, but they were consumed as quickly as burning thorns. In the name of the Lord I cut them down. I was pushed back and about to fall, but the Lord helped me. The Lord is my strength and my defense. He has become my salvation. Shouts of joy and victory resound in the tents of the righteous. The Lord's right hand has done mighty things. The Lord's right hand is lifted high. The Lord's right hand has done mighty things. I will not die, but live, and will proclaim what the Lord has done. The Lord has chastened me severely, but he has not given me over to death. Open for me the gates of righteous. I will enter and give thanks to the Lord. This is the gate of the Lord, through which the righteous may enter. I will give you thanks, for you answered me. You have become my salvation. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes. The Lord has done it in this very day. Let us rejoice today and be glad. Lord, save us. Lord, grant us success. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. For from the Lord, the house of the Lord, we bless you. The Lord is God, and it is he who has made his light to shine on us. With boughs in hand, join in the festal procession up to the horns of the altar. You are my God, and I will praise you. You are my God, and I will exalt you. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. It's interesting how this psalm, I know it's super long, isn't it? Well, it's not that long. It's not as bad as 119. This is 118. But it's interesting how you can almost sense at several places the liturgy of the psalm, sort of this liturgical repetition of the psalm, as whoever it is who is reading the psalm might say, like there might have been a call and response when this was read in the synagogues, especially back here in these places where the same thing is said over and over again. This repetition of learning, building habits, and of course we want to build habits that are good and not these habits that would lead us to destruction. So let us, for one of the last times, because we only have 1 week after this, so 2 more times after this to do this, but let us recite the Collect for Education as we enter into this time of worship. I mean, each of our classes should be a time of worship, but let's do this. Thank you for doing this with me this semester. So Almighty God, the fountain of all wisdom, enlighten by your Holy Spirit those who teach and those who learn, that rejoicing in the knowledge of your truth, they may worship you and serve you from generation to generation, through Jesus Christ our Lord, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God forever and ever. Amen. Lord, we are thankful. We are thankful for this week. We are thankful for this semester. We're thankful that we have time to step back before finals, to rejoice in the ways that you have blessed us, have blessed our families, have blessed our friends. I pray that you go before us, that you would help us to be your light in your life as we go to whatever gatherings that we go to. And I recognize, and you know who we are and who our families are. And those of us who go to times that aren't as happy, pray that you go with them, with us. Help us to be a blessing to those around us, even if we aren't as joyful. Thank you for this time that we have together. I pray in your name. Amen. Okay, so speaking of liturgies, my church is highly liturgical, and we follow the church calendar. And one of the things that my wife and I do is we'll do children's church. And so we try our best to follow the church calendar. And we did children's church yesterday. Yesterday was Christ the King Sunday. And so my wife said, hey, we can make cookies for the kids. And so I made cookies. And I got a cookie cutter that was the shape of a crown. And I made my cookies. And I have them here to share with you a little later on, because we don't want all these cookies in our house. But I wanted to show you what these cookies look like. So there is my crown, and I know what you're thinking.
It's beautiful.
It is a crown, okay? Some of them looked even worse than this one, okay? So you can dig through and try to find the best ones. But so I haven't touched this one. I just pulled it out. If you want that one, you can have it. But I have the rest here. I'll put them up here for when we have our discussion. You can come up and get one if you want, or on the way out if you prefer. My last class, they wanted to take them on the way out. But the cookie cutter did look like a crown, and it had the jagged. They just got rounded, more like maybe the digits on your hand instead of a crown. Yeah, well, no, it's a crown, okay? It's a crown. So anyway, yeah, but, and also just another thing is, if you are offended by my crowns, I got a little tired of making crowns because I knew that I'd only have like 7? I had like 7 kids, so I only needed 7 crowns, and I was like, well, why did we make them all? So I took the rest of the cookie dough and I made them in the shapes of states, United States, for example. We have Montana here, and I've got South Dakota. So I think that one looks sort of like Oregon. But anyway, so I do have some that are not crown shapes, which you can have there. Okay, so a couple of other things, business, and then we'll get to our discussion for we have a quiz. I have a quiz. I know you're excited. Yeah, let's do the quiz. So the quiz, what was your assignment last time? It was to go to the movie and watch the movie or download it. I watched it. You went to it, nice. And I know I got that attendance records. No, I didn't. No one gave me any attendance records. They said the attendance apparently failed. But
then it fixed.
It fixed?
Yes,
And
it fixed.
well, I haven't seen. I'm just going to assume everyone did it because you got this quiz to prove it. So the quiz is about Wonka. I thought, well, might as well make a wonky quiz on Wonka. So here you go. Hopefully it's an easy one. If you saw the movie, it should be super easy. If you didn't see it, then you can guess. Whatever. Hopefully you can remember.
I did see it, but I have like a really bad headache.
Okay. It'll come back to you. Don't worry.
Let's hope so.
Here we are. I don't know if there's 3 there. I think one more. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Is that it? Do I have everyone? Wow, I have extras. Do I really have this many? Wow, do I have that many absent people, or did I just print too many? Oh, wow. I'll come collect it in just a minute. Figure out myself here. Let's see if this works. Come on. Okay, it's not letting me paste this in here for some reason. Yeah. I give up. I give up. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, I know what I can do. One more try, and then I'll give up. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. It's the best I can do. Okay, so here it is up on the screen finally, and I just took a photo. I'll come get the ones that we got here, and I'll take that one. Nice work. Good job. You all got great pluses on this one. Yeah, I hope so too. So even though you had a headache and you were half asleep, it was still easy.
I wasn't half asleep. I was just miserable.
Miserable.
Yeah, like my head hurt, and then everybody was clapping, and that did not make it better.
Yeah, I just wanted to have like a grade. I can stick in the grade book. Okay, so just for thoroughness, let's see if we can get. Oh, do I have everyone's? Everyone's quiz. Good. Okay, so what was his one apparent flaw? He couldn't read. Where is it? He can't read. You remember? He was trying to learn to read. What animal? It was the lemur. No, I'm just kidding. It's the giraffe. Giraffe. He steals from the. It was under the church. And what type of job were they doing? It was laundry. There we go. Hopefully you got them right. Did I get them right? I got them right. Okay. Most of you are like, wait, what? Okay. Very nice. Okay, good job. Now, where did my PowerPoint go? There it is. Okay, going back to this. Okay, so before we go on, I just need to have a little brief interlude, and that is to mention the end of course surveys. So in this class, like many of your classes, the administration has begged us to get you to answer these surveys, and they say, give them extra credit. And you're like, okay, if we must. So I used to be opposed to extra credit for doing the end of course survey because they wouldn't tell me who did the end of course survey. But now they do tell me who does the end of course survey. So if you do the end of course survey, the administration will let me know who you are. They won't tell me what you said. So you can say whatever you want, but I won't know who's who, but you don't have to do it now. Just at some point, you just want to remember. No, wait till later.
Why can't I do it now?
Because we got other things we have to do. So anyway, yeah, now you're going to mark me down. Is that it? So all of your classes, by the way, your professors are really happy when you write sentences or not just comments. Comments are the best. The administration loves the numbers. The professors love the comments because the comments are what help us say, oh, look, we did a good job. Oh, we did a bad job. But whatever it is, it's more helpful than the numbers for us. But if you're stuck, if you're trying to figure out what number should I give this person, I'll give you a hint. Here is the correct answer right there. 5 stars. Give me a 5-star review. All of your professors would appreciate that. Okay, so you are what you love. What is this? What is it that we're doing here? We're doing Wonka. Okay, yeah, Wonka. So I was curious. So I've got this divided into 2 sets of types of questions. The first group we're going to do is a big group, and then the second one we'll do is small groups. Like the last time, we'll divide you up. You can get a cookie then if you want one, or you don't have to if you don't want one. So what did you think? Does anyone have any strong feelings about this movie, Wonka? It doesn't matter. It could be something like, here, I'll give you the other questions. So was it good or bad, or was it derivative? What do you think? What did you think? No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't really expect all like the singing and stuff like that.
I know.
That, I'm gonna be honest, it kind of drove me away from the movie a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
yeah.
Other than that, I thought it was a pretty decent movie.
Okay.
I probably
Interesting.
wouldn't watch it again.
Oh no. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So interesting. So anyone else have strong feelings one way or the other? Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't really I kind of thought it was like another version of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So when I watched it, I was a little thrown off, but.
It's like the origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of if you're not familiar with the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the doll book, and it got turned into a movie in the 1970s, and then got remixed into the movie in the 2010 or 12. Anyway, this one is actually it's supposed to be the origin of the 1970s one. So if you watch the trailer for the 1970s one, it's so creepy. I remember seeing it as a kid, but it's the exact same songs, exact same, but Gene Wilder is an old man. He's dressed the same, he looks the same. What do you think, Trevor?
I was just gonna comment on that. Like, I think they did a good job for the origin story in terms of keeping his character consistent. But like,
He wasn't as creepy in this one.
I think he was.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
I think he was, but that's just.
I was scared as a kid watching the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as a kid. Ooh, I remember having nightmares about it's really creepy. So, anything else? Other comments? Yeah, I would see. Yeah, I highly. I see. I watched it at home, and then immediately, right after watching it, I thought, oh, I should check out the trailer for. And I looked at the trailer for the original Charlie, and it was the exact same song that they sang at the end. He was singing that, but he was singing in a very creepy way. It was like, it was really weird. Okay, so was it? Yeah, I guess this is still the same type of question. So I guess I crammed them all. Anyone else want to get it out of your system? It's fine. I don't care what you think. Like, I wouldn't have watched it myself, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know, but I did because I felt like I should. Okay, what's next? Okay, just a sec. Here we are. What does that say? I'm looking for, okay, here we go, the movies. Okay, so what we're dealing with here is we're dealing with liturgies, of course, because we're in this whole James K.A. Smith sort of in this mode of thinking about liturgies. And so I'm curious about this, like how is going to a movie or watching a movie with friends, how is it a liturgical act? What are the things, the habit-forming things? Not habit-forming, but what are the things that we do each time? Are there things that we do? Is there something you do, Bodhi?
I usually just go and like sit down and like quiet and just watch the movie.
Okay, so you have a mode or a thing that you do each time you watch a movie. You're quiet, and it annoys you when Makai is talking to you.
Nah, it kind of just annoys me when people are clapping.
Anyone? Oh, clapping?
Yeah, no. During the movie, like
Yeah.
constant clapping.
Wait,
Constant
was
clapping.
there?
Yeah, from just big
The
groups of
whole
people.
time.
Yeah, and like I had a headache, and like with that, mixed with that, it was just really hard for me to actually walk into the movie.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
There was no clapping when I watched it.
Oh, there was a lot.
Because-
It was bad. Like,
What
you
were they
could-
clapping for?
Nothing.
Fun.
Like every
Per-
time they
personal
say,
majority,
like after the song, stuff like random stuff that
It
didn't
was
even
just,
matter.
like,
Why would you clap?
It genuinely made me angry.
Yeah, I would have been angry as well. Yes, I agree. Interesting, but I'm more interested in, okay, so some people apparently go to movies and they clap. That's part of their liturgical. Yeah, it annoys me when people
You can
clap.
clap
'Cause-
at the end of the movie.
yeah, maybe at the end, but why would you? No one can hear you on the screen.
Yeah, you know, I say you can clap at the end of the movie. If you
Okay.
feel like it.
But getting back to the task at hand, how is there something about going to a movie that is liturgical? Are there things that you do that you look forward to? Maybe, you know, if you go to movies with friends, or if you watch movies in your basement with friends, is there anything that you do that's sort of the same that will kind of get you into the mood, or what? Yeah, Trevor.
I don't think I've ever gone to a movie where we haven't talked about it afterwards. Like,
So there's a discussion
oh, yeah,
with
no
your
matter who you
friends.
go with, as soon as it's over, as soon as you walk out, you're like, so what was your favorite part?
So that's part of the liturgy, is that you're gonna do this thing and then you discuss it afterwards. Very nice. So that's actually a lovely thing to do. Yeah, what do you think,
Mine's
Carter?
smuggling snacks in the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's fun.
No.
Like the Walmart trip beforehand or
Okay.
whatever, and then the smuggling of the snacks.
Dollar Tree, you gotta get the cheapest possible.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's part of it. Yeah. You got your winter coat on, right? Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So did you have some?
I was gonna say, I feel like even if I've just eaten dinner, like no matter how hungry I am, I'm always eating snacks.
Okay, so there's a consumption. You always eat during a movie. That's so interesting. I was going to say that when my wife and I go watch a movie in the basement, we have these large things, they're bigger than this, and we have these two big metal bowls, and I make popcorn and with butter and salt, and then we bring them down. Each of us has a giant bowl of popcorn, and it's just like part of the thing. Very nice. So eating, we go and we eat and we discuss. I like the discussing. Very nice. What are so I guess these are habits or liturgies have we adopted as part of this activity? I guess we have the run to Walmart or to the Dollar Tree to get your snacks, you get your food. Very nice. Okay, so we can go on and see what else we have here. Where is it? So how can movies or television episodes reinforce positive habits or calibrate us in ways that we might not even realize? So are there things that happen when you're watching a movie or a TV episode or whatever it is, streaming, that reinforces positive habits or calibrates us, moves us into a certain place we don't even realize is happening? You don't think of anything? What do you think, Trevor?
Two things. So, like, one of them, like, I know it's not talking about advertisements, like film media in terms of like broad. Like, I always use this, like, Santa Claus was red and white, and so Coca-Cola used them like advertisement.
Uh-huh.
Like, he was originally green and blue. It's like that's something that was like somehow that color on is like continuing still, which is crazy.
So there's especially with television, we see ads or movies now. If you're not going to pay for the extra, you end up seeing ads there too. I'm so sick of Skyrizi. I don't even know what that is a drug for, but you see the ad. It's like, I used to have this problem, but I saw Skyrizi. Anyway, okay, very nice. So the ads, there's ads that sort of are reprogramming us to some degree. Are there other ways that TV or movies, habits that change us or calibrate us? So in the same vein, how might they reinforce negative habits? Are they positive or negative? What do you think?
I feel like some movies and shows like create stereotypes in our minds. Like for some reason, all movies always have like that one like lunch table and like everyone's like sitting there and there's like the girl sitting by herself and like that.
Oh, this is the I was going to say children's movies, but they aren't children's. They're like the teen.
Yeah.
Teen, like
it's like
high
that
school.
Doesn't happen in real life, but like.
Wait, it doesn't happen? You don't have the one girl
I mean,
sitting alone in the cafeteria?
Like, nobody's like over there like looking at her like you're sitting alone. And, like,
Okay.
She's not like an outcast.
The outcast. That's great. Well, you got to set up a plot somewhere. What do you think, Trevor?
I was gonna say on that, like a different example of that would be like how every bad guy is Russian. In terms of like especially during like all movies have
That's only Top Gun that they're Russian. I'm just kidding.
That's not only.
Yeah, you're right. Or we went through a phase where they were Arabs for a time, where the bad guys, like in the early 2000s, you look at some of those movies, and it's a lot of Middle Eastern terrorist types. So interesting. Yeah. So reinforcing stereotypes might be a bad thing. And I don't know if the habit of eating, eat all the time, and we're eating at the movies, maybe that's a negative habit. If you I don't know. I do it. I love it. Okay, so there are habits. It's something to consider that especially certain TV shows might reinforce negative stereotypes, negative things. Very nice. Okay, wait, where are we here? Okay, we're getting closer to the thing. Okay, so let's talk about Wonka in particular. And I'm interested in the vision of the good life or human flourishing that Wonka presents. So Wonka is presenting a vision or a version of what it means to be a human and what it means to have a good life. So what is it? What are the visions that you saw in this movie? Trevor, what did you see?
Like chasing after dreams and being an entrepreneur, I guess.
All right, so chasing after dreams, being an entrepreneur. Looking at my notes, I want to remember what I'm thinking here. Very nice. So yeah, this is common. The chasing after your dreams. It's so common in movies, isn't it? Like the Disney movie. Like we have something that we're going to try to chase after. What else? What else did you see that about this movie that might have? And here's another question that might help you sort of focus: is what is it that this movie is telling us we should love? Chocolate. Yeah, so we have chocolate. I had a colleague who said, you should bring chocolate to class. And I was like, sorry, I got all these cookies I've got to get rid of. So, but yeah, so chocolate. But what else? What else is there that we should be loving? Or what is it that, what's the vision of the good life? Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, at the end, like, he has that note from his mom and says, like, that it was never about the chocolate.
Yeah, so this is another common theme in Disney movies is it's the people around you that give you the strength and the power to do whatever it is, task. And wasn't that, it was such a Eucharistic moment, wasn't it, when he opened up the bar and he was breaking the body, if you will, and passing it out, very much like a communion scene, and then reading the scripture, which was the note from the mother. It's just surprising, wasn't it? I don't know. I guess you might be thinking you're overthinking it. Yeah, well, that's my job, I guess. But yeah, it's. I mean, that's part of what we're not saying. Like to do this. We're not trying to tear this movie apart or anything. But we should think critically about stuff that we ingest, media that we ingest. I think that is important to think. Like it seems like such a nice movie, right? It's a nice musical. Everyone lives happily ever after, except for, of course, the chocolate cartel people. What happened to them at the end? They floated away, so we don't know. They're dead. But anyway, yeah. So it seems so nice and but it's good to think critically. What is it that this movie is inviting us to love? What is it? You know, this idea that if we have a group of friends, then we can conquer everything, you know, that this is what will make us successful, maybe. So very nice. So let's see what else we have here. So how can movies, wait, this feels like we've already answered that question, haven't we? Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so some of you have looked ahead at the journal number 10 that's due not this week, but next week. I had to push it back because I realized that when they wrote the question or the prompt, it didn't make sense to have it due this week because we haven't discussed this yet. So the I statements, which we'll talk about the prompt in a bit, but the I statements, what were the I statements? Do you remember from the mall? Do you remember any of the I statements from the mall? These were on pages in the course reader, pages 190 through 194. Take a minute, go ahead and flip through. You'll find them. There are, I think, 4 of them, these I statements. So this is what is being referred to in that prompt that I was given to make you do. So take a minute, 190 through 194, you'll find 3 I statements and then a bonus statement that doesn't have an I in it. So flip through, you'll find them. They're the headings of the different paragraphs or the first line. All right, so we got them. I got them right here, so we don't have to read them off. They're here they are for them all. I'm broken, therefore I shop. So that's an I statement. So what is the mall teaching me? This is what we're, at least for James K. Smith, what he's saying is that the mall teaches us I'm broken, therefore I shop. I shop with others. So this idea of this communal shopping, right? And this is something that we learned from Wonka, right? I shop with others. I shop, therefore I am. Shopping gives me meaning in my life. And then finally, the last one it didn't have an I in it, but it was, still in the same vein. So I put it down. Don't ask, don't tell is that last one. So you can look those up. And so that's what is being referred to in the prompt. We'll talk about it a little bit more in a bit, but here's the task that you have is you're going to develop your own Wonka I statements. So working groups, and I've got the groups up here in just a minute, but your job for your group is to create 3 I statements. So that are about the Wonka movie, that the Wonka movie is teaching us. These are the statements that, like, what is Wonka? What sort of lessons is Wonka teaching us about life? So 3 I statements. So here are your groups. I've named them all after flavorings for chocolates. You might be in the coconut group or the caramel group or so on. So find your group and then come up with 3 I statements. So 3. Oh, and you can have a cookie as well if it will help the sugar. So I have some crowns and some things that don't look as much like crowns. You can go get yours if you would like it. It's right there's one that is very much like that right there. You grab it. Grab it and go, and you can have some.
Which one? This one.
Oh, you know it. Yeah. Go ahead and post that on Instagram. So, and there's this one here, the one that I was using as my example, if you want that one. So find your group. I will put the prompt up in just a minute after you have a chance to find your group.
Oh, these ones don't have sprinkles. Is that one with sparkles? Should I eat this one? Yes. Sometimes it's only you know.
So remember, it's Christ the King Sunday. That's why yesterday was Christ the King. Oh, I forgot about this stack. Oh, I'll have to remind everyone. I've got a stack of stuff for you.
A new one?
I don't know. I was told people can have them if they want them. They're enough? They're enough? I was always worried. Look at that. There's some people lost their digit or their crown. Uh-oh. You can take that little nugget. Okay, lovely. Is that there? There. Paper towel. Oh, let me put the prompt back up. Everyone's got their group. You found your group. There's only 3 in the marshmallow group. What group are you? You are the marshmallow group. Only 3 of you. Sad. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead. You can grab whatever you want. So here's the prompt. 3 I statements. The examples, they're from so these are the ones from the mall. So it's like the lessons that the various liturgical things are teaching us. So as we go into the mall, we learn that we're broken, so we shop. So why is it that we shop? It's because we don't have what we need, we're broken. Stuff like that. These are the examples that James K. Smith used. So hopefully we can come up with, so it's like, these are the things that it's teaching us. All right, what group is this? Your coconut. How's coconut doing? All right, we got 2 already. Amazing. All right, what's this? Is this caramel? Really? Amazing. Okay, how are you doing? You got it figured out?
Yeah, we're not at all.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure you understand. Is it I statement? I don't know. I would probably come up with something to, try to concisely say something about the fact that, if we have a group of close friends that we can come to the world. I'm not sure exactly how to know that, but we usually, words like that, maybe I statement. Along with friends, I can rule the world or whatever. With
I'm sad they're for they're right there on the wall. I need something.
Yeah, I was like,
And so his like whole thing is like,
You got it figured out now?
Yeah.
You got 4? Oh, sorry.
almost murdering kids and his I don't understand what went wrong.
That's the origin story I want to know.
Yeah, and I was like, I missed the part where he became a murderer.
Yeah. You're talking about the Gene Wilder, the old one? I feel like the Gene Wilder one is way creepier than the. Maybe it's because I was older. Yeah, they are. Depp he's pretty creepy. Wait till he's done, and then we'll talk.
I'm pretty sure I have to go to get because I missed one or twice already. Yeah, I'm just chilling there. I don't like it because I get too distracted because all my friends are too, and so we end up talking.
I have a question.
Please.
For the essay, it only has to be one page
Which essay?
The final exam.
Okay, that we'll talk about next week, but yes, it's a short one. Yeah, but essay 2 should be more than 1 page. What are they watching Wonka again?
How is that like?
It's okay. So James K.A. Smith is using apocalyptic in a different sense than the way that you're used to. So I'm trying to avoid using it because I don't like the way that it's being used, because everyone knows that apocalyptic means the end of the world. But James K.A. Smith is using it as a description of how we worship. If you look up I'll Google it, and then maybe Guy will be gone. Here. That's a good question, though. Because it's confusing.
It caught me so off guard.
I
It was gonna be Wonka. I was like, how's that like?
Okay. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Let me get a definition. Come on, why can't I just get it? Try again. Okay, here it is. American Heritage Dictionary. Here we are. I'll put it up on the screen just for everyone to enjoy. There it is. All right, let's see. This one. Of or pertaining to a revelation, or specifically to that, but it's like like revelatory. So how it reveals what the good life means. So yeah, it's a terrible use of the word, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So no, not at all. Yeah. Okay, well we're gonna get finish this discussion so we can move on. So I don't know if you can handle being all the way in the back there. I'm okay with it if that's okay with you. Let's go ahead and see if we can come up with our I statements. So we'll just go around and we'll just take one, your favorite. And I know that this means that some of you might be like, oh, all 3 of mine have been taken. But let's start up here with the marshmallows. And what was one of your I statements that Wonka was teaching us?
I can follow my dreams.
I can follow my dreams. Oh, yes. Follow my dreams. Man, that is such a... Is that really true? No. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. But you're not going to be president of the United States. Okay, next. Who is this? Oh, the hazelnuts. Hazelnuts. What is your I statement, your favorite one? Okay, I fail, so I try again. Interesting, again. Very nice. I didn't think of that in terms of this movie, but yeah, that's a good message. I like that one because that's the way we should approach education. You fail, so you try again. Okay, the back group. Were you the coconuts?
Peanut.
You're the peanut butters. Okay, peanut butters.
I said I'm not content, so I need more chocolate.
Okay. I'm not content, so I need more. And I'm going to just put a blank there because more chocolate, but chocolate could be representing something else that we're not content. We need more. We need more. And you have these chocolatiers who want to hoard the chocolate, and then the priest and the weird priest people that all worship the chocolate. Very nice. Okay, so who's next? What group is this? Are you the coconuts?
No.
What are you? Oh, caramel or caramel. Okay, whichever way you want to say it. What do you got?
I can't read.
I can.
I can't read.
Okay, but you'll notice through the movie, she was the what's her name, the noodle person.
I can't read, so I keep trying.
Yeah, and so she was teaching him. So he was so.
I can't read, so I gain guidance.
I can read. I will learn to read. How about? Yeah, I want to make it because these are supposed to be. So just to relate, these are supposed to be ways that the movie is trying to teach you something positive, but the positivity may or may not be true. Like the I can follow my dreams. That's a very common, isn't it? Common of a lot of movies. I can follow my dreams. You can be anything you want to be, right? Isn't that what your mother told you? You can be anything you want to be if you try hard enough, which yeah, maybe I shouldn't shatter your dreams. Go for it. Go for it. Okay, I will learn. I will learn to read. Okay, we'll put that down. I will learn to read. Oh, speaking of this, my mother-in-law, I was eating dinner with her last night with one of the English professors here. So we had a little dinner party. And she says, she's there and she's like, I'm reading a book and it's too good. This is the last book I will ever read. She's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, it's taking up too much of my time. So I'm not going to read a book ever again. Like, well, she is 80, so I was wondering if she meant that she's going to die soon. I don't know. So, but yeah, it just came to mind because of that. Okay, wait, now finally the coconuts. Okay, what do you got, coconuts?
Okay, this isn't one I feel like we don't necessarily agree with this, but
Mm-hmm.
it says if you're not with us, you're against us.
If you are not with us, you are against us. Against us. Against us. So that's not really an I statement, but it is sort of a lesson that they have their little group, and then their group extends out to other people who like them, but then they're the people that they're enemies with, like the police chief. What is the actor's name? It's so funny. He kept getting bigger and bigger. I don't know. I thought that was hilarious. I was thinking he's eating a lot of chocolate, and he's like, oh, I get it. He's getting fatter and fatter. But anyway, but very nice. Good start. Now, I'm not going to make everyone say another one, but I suspect some of you are like, wait a minute, there was this one cool one. So what is the one cool one that we haven't put down yet? Or the interesting thing, statement? Okay, what do you think? What do you say?
I dream, therefore I invent.
Ooh, I dream there. Okay, so that's sort of akin to the following the dreams, but it's a little bit different. I dream, therefore I invent. Yes, very nice. All right. All right. What else? There was a group that was talking about how all you need is you need a group of friends, right? If you have a group of friends, you can do anything. Like this group, like the people who are working at the laundry chute or wherever it was, you just have to have that group. As long as you're working together, you can do anything. So that's sort of another one. I don't know. I had one in my brain and now it's gone. Oh well. Is there anything else while I'm trying to think of the one that I was thinking of? Now you're all going to be silent. Make me try to figure it out. I can't remember now. I know. This, I thought it was quite unrealistic, which is ridiculous to say about a movie. But where's the chocolate coming from? He's making this, I guess, yeah. So it's sort of saying that all you have to do is think it. All I have to do is think it, and it will come to pass. Right? It's almost as if that's what he was doing. He was thinking, oh, we should make this chocolate, and it comes from the petals of this flower that only grows in Switzerland, but suddenly I have it here. Where's it coming from? How's he getting those balls that he gives to the Oompa Loompas? I don't know. So yeah, this thing that it just comes out of thin air, and out of whole cloth. So what you're to do, so let's get to your job. Just a minute. Which of these do I want to do? I'll do this one. Let's go back to, Project just did that. Let's see. Okay. So we've done this. We've done group discussion. Hold on a minute. Wait, where's my, Or it's not on there. I have the homework, but it's not on there. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to pull up the homework here. Give me a sec. That's not it. I'll just click up here. I've got a link somewhere, Gateway. There it is. Here it comes. Okay, so a couple of things that we need to discuss. Number one, journal number 10. Journal number 10. So I know you can't read it, but you're gonna generate I statements. Whoops, that's no good. I'll make it just big. Let's see. Can I do this or this? There we go. That'll be good. Okay, so you're supposed to use I statement to produce an analysis of Blanca, discuss how those statements might be applied to another film or TV show. Now, so I don't know what all of your I statements were, but you know, we have some of them here. You can use some from here, and honestly, you can make up your own if you feel like you need to. So you might have another film or TV show that you are into. Sorry, that crown apparently was a bit much for me. So, for example, my wife and I have been watching the TV show Elementary. I don't know if you're familiar with this. It's like a Sherlock Holmes reboot. And anyway, you know, modern telling of a Sherlock Holmes type story. So, what I might do is I would ask the question like, how does that TV show do some of the things that we have here? Like, I can follow my dreams, not so much in that. I fail, so I try again. That sort of is something that is talked about. I'm not content, so I need more of something. Not really with that particular TV show. I will learn to read. Not that one, but maybe learn. There's things that a person has to learn. If you're not with us, you're against us. I dream, therefore I invent. So do these apply to other shows or make up your own? I mean, I'd be happy if you were to just analyze your own TV show instead of coming up. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is supposed to apply now that I think that I was given this prompt. So if you want to use those, like the ones that you came up with today, or come up with new I statements for whatever TV program or movie that you're thinking about, maybe it's, I don't know, The Fast and the Furious, then seriously, that would be an interesting movie to think about. What are the I statements? What is it, the liturgies that movie is trying to teach us? Or the whole series, what are there, 9 or 10 of them? And so then also present form of a rival liturgies that connect the vision of the good life. So what is it that they're trying to teach us through, you know, subconsciously? You might not even be aware as you're watching or consuming this stuff. So that's what that is. Are there any questions about what that particular journal is supposed to be to look like? Just want to make sure. Sorry, I got to pull up this next thing. It didn't make it to the PowerPoint for some reason. So the next thing, so that is due next Monday or Sunday or whatever. So I know you got to write it today so you don't have to do it next week. Then in addition to that, where is it? We have a short reading assignment. So look, yeah, it didn't show up on my PowerPoint. So it's the last, I think it's the very last reading, Kevin Brown. So this is in this last section. It says section 4, setting up what's next. So you have the Kevin Brown reading, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's our last reading. So this last reading, it's pages 198. I know some of you like to, I'll write it down so that you can take a photo of this. So number 1, you're going to do Journal 10. Number 2, you're going to read Course Reader 198 through 210. You got a whole week to do all of this. Number 3, you have essay number 2 that's due at some point. When is it due? Let's see. Today. Yeah, I'm not going to be reading it today, so you can do it later if you need to. Let me get it. Let me see. Yeah, if you haven't done it, don't fret, because where is this? This is the journals. Why is it so big? There we go. Let me grab it here. Just make sure that we understand what's coming up. Essay 2. Okay, so some of you apparently have done it since it's due today, apparently. Let's see. Yeah, I better not scroll any further because it'll show me who did what. But one thing I should say about these is I was super happy. Did I tell you about this? I don't think I did. About the AI. So when I click, I can see like the predicted AI content. No one here was above 20%. And I mean, that was amazing because I had English professors complaining to me about how their class, they had a couple people who were 90% or 100%. And I was like, none of mine were at all. Like, it was like 20% was the max, which is just they don't know what, it's an error. So, so good job. So keep up the good work. I don't know if it's because I told you that I thought that it was dumb that we have an AI policy, but that because we do, we have to avoid it altogether. So just keep avoiding it, keep avoiding AI, and you'll be fine. I don't care if you write poorly. I write poorly. All I care is that you answer the prompt and, cite your work and avoid AI. I'll be happy. So the first essay is great. You did a great job. Okay, so essay number 2. There is a final essay you probably saw. Some people have asked me about that. We'll talk about that next week. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I mean, if you really must know, it's on their prompt is up there. So we have essay number 2 is today apparently, but
we have the first one, we got this one, now we have the third.
Okay, I will. Yes, we have a third. Okay, I'll talk about it now, but I will also talk about it next week since it's causing so much consternation. We will take a look at it really quick. There we go.
Yeah. Essay 2 says final.
No, okay, the final exam.
Oh,
It's an essay.
Oh, do we have to like do while we're in class or something?
No, you can. I mean, we could if you want, but the final exam. So I'll explain briefly what this is. Basically, if you do so. Oh wait. Oh, it's showing up. Sorry, it's a Word document. I need to put a place for it on here. But basically, the final exam, it's you get credit for doing it. It's a completion thing. I'm not gonna grade it and give you a grade. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna evaluate it and then tell my boss, like 50% of the students thought this and 25% thought this. So it's more of an assessment or an evaluation of what's going on, I guess, in the class. So yeah, so don't fret about that. It's not a big deal. It's more of I'll wait until next week. If you haven't done it yet, don't do it until next week. Yes, Brooklyn.
So, do we have to be here for the final exam?
That is a great question. Let me see what it says. All right, I do whatever it says in the syllabus. Let me. Yes, there is something that I'm supposed to do, but it will not be 2 hours long.
Also, I can sit and play crossword.
After I'm done? Absolutely.
Do we have to be here for the whole period? Or
No, you don't have to stay the whole time. We're going to do, it's going to be like 45 minutes max.
I bet you can't get it done in 30 minutes.
I'm going to take that as a challenge. Okay, so here's the final list for those who are keeping score. If you want to take a photo, there it is. You can see Journal 10, Course Reader 198 through 210. Essay number 2 is today. I put in quotes because it really isn't due until I actually start reading them, which will probably be more like Friday or Saturday, but you might as well do it today. What's that? Journal is due next Monday.
What's 4 say?
Or next Sunday. What?
What's the first one?
Final essay. Sorry, it's my poor handwriting. Final final exam, I guess it was. Final exam, is that better? Which is an essay. All right, oh, I have these that you can have. They're little planners. You want a planner? I'll put them over here. So this is from the CSS. You can have them, it's free. And then if you want another cookie, you can have it. Yeah, these are free.
Everything is so much better when I don't have to pay for it.
Wait, which? I might want one of the state.
Yeah, those rectangles. It's a joke.
So if we turn the essay by like Thursday, do we get late points?
I'm not going to take off points, no.
Will it still be open for us to turn it in?
I
though,
think
since
so.
it says that it's due today?
I think it's open. I don't think that one's not formatted. It's not formatted like that where it shuts down like the journals do.
Okay.
Yeah, the journals shut down, but not the essay.
I also have a question. So I won't be here all next week because I'm in Iowa for volleyball.
Wait, you're what?
Our volleyball team made the national tournament, so we're going to
Why?
Iowa.
You should have lost a game or two. Okay.
But
All right.
what do I need to do for
Yeah.
class next week?
You just do whatever the assignments say. Submit your essay. Submit your journal.
Okay. So if we
It'll
have,
be excused absence, so the quiz won't count.
okay, I was going to say if I need to make up the quiz or anything. Okay.
It'll be fine.
Sounds good.
And we'll all be sad.
And
But we
then-
hope you crush the competition since you're going to be missing anyway.
Well, on the off chance that we're not back for finals week,
Wait, what?
there's a chance. It matters.
If
so,
you win, you won't have to.
yeah, we still have to take the final, but it just wouldn't
Yeah.
be like potentially on Monday.
Yeah.
So if we win in our pool, then we won't be back in time, like for
I
that
see.
Monday.
Okay.
But if we lose, then I'll be here for that Monday.
Okay, so
So if
that's
that's not
so
the
hard to
case-
know how to pray.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you do
Sorry.
well.
Well,
All right.
thank you. So if I'm not here for,
I'll know,
I
yeah.
can just email you, and then if that helps, to let
That's
you know.
totally fine.
Okay, thank you.
How are you doing?
Stressed.
Why? You shouldn't be stressed.
That essay.
What about it?
So it is supposed to be between 3 to 4 pages.
Yeah, so that means 3. Don't
Okay.
give me 4.
Okay. And
I mean, you can give me 4, but
I have a question.
The
How
more-
many we are supposed to do the works cited for on the book?
yeah, whatever it is that
Okay.
you refer to. Because where is it? It's here somewhere. Essay. Let's click it. Just a sec. I gotta be able to see it to be able to click it. Okay, yeah, click it. Essay 2. So, there we are. Yeah, so whatever it is that you refer to, and you should refer to at least one. It's you get your choice here, don't you? But in each case, you're referring to Smith.
Okay.
So you're going to have to refer to that, the You Are What You Love book, in one form or another.
And then how many quotes do you want us to reference from it? Is there
Do I really need to give you a number?
Is there
Okay, I do need to give a number, don't I?
is there a minimum that you
No, I'm not. Well, I think that if you had no quotes, that would be a problem.
Okay.
And you might be able to focus, if you're really into this one quote or this one passage, you're like, this is all I care about. Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
But
So
but-
at least one.
Yeah, at least one.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay. Thank you.
You're going to be okay. I'm confident in you, Brandon.
Maybe.
what's
I'm
going on?
sorry. Journal 9 or whichever one was due.
Oh, yeah, you emailed me, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
If I can't get an extension,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. We've had this happen with a few people, and I asked the big boss, and he said, no, you can't do these extensions. So I was like, okay.
That's
So
fine. Yeah. I
it's just
wanted to ask.
it probably won't. You'll still get an A probably.
Okay.
I mean, I
Sounds
can't
good.
guarantee it, but
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to ask.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't
No,
respond to
you're
the
fine, you're
email.
All right.
Doing all right, Alpha?
I guess so. Okay. So.
You're gonna miss.
No.
You're not gonna miss?
No.
I thought you might have to go to a volleyball tournament.
No. But I did have a couple questions. So
Yes.
one, can you put a thing where we can submit our final essay?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Will you want me to do it right now?
No, does it have to? I mean, no, it's fine. I was just curious.
I haven't done it. I will.
And then,
Yeah, that's.
I didn't realize the second essay had to be longer than the first essay. I made it 2 pages,
Ah.
not
Oh, I see. So you want to tack on a page?
So like,
Oh, why am I freezing? No one cares. Oh, wait, I do need to freeze because, here, let's see. So you've already submitted?
yeah.
And you want
Like I
me to
submitted
delete
it
yours?
a month ago or whatever.
Wow, you're incredible.
I just did it when I
You
did
should
the
get
other.
bonus
like,
points.
It's with our updated like.
Let's see. Let me
thing.
find you.
But I didn't realize it had to be 3 to 4.
Uh-oh, that's a notice that I have to go soon. Where is just a minute. Why can't I find you? Here we are, Evelyn.
So like.
There you are. There you are. I'll just trash yours. Look, I'm going to click the trash button.
Okay.
And then you can
That's
you can
kind of
do
terrifying.
there now. There, it's been trashed.
So like, does it just have to go to the bottom of page 3?
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Even if it's.
Cause.
Yeah, just pat it a little bit.
It's like.
Well, it's gone now. Can't see it.
It is like a page and 3/4.
Yeah, just
good.
push it over to like 2.5, and then you'll be fine.
Is that fine? Like 2.5? Okay.
Because the less you write, the less I have to read. That's my motto.
Okay.
All right, I guess.
Wait, and then for
Yeah.
our journal.